Hey everybody, this is Spencer, Defense Training, defensetraining.org, or go over to our Facebook page. It's Facebook.com/Defense Training. Check us out, give us a like. One of the things I want to go over today is something that we cover in our Concealed Weapons Permit classes. If you haven't got your Concealed Weapons Permit yet, or even if you have got your Concealed Weapons Permit, you may be able to relate to what I'm going to go over. In the Concealed Weapons classes, one of the things that we go over what we consider three areas of self-defense. Now, most of us think about, well, self-defense is defending yourself physically. You know, somebody's attacking you with a knife or a gun, or etc., etc. So I'm in the Concealed Weapons Permit class, so I can carry a handgun. And of course, this is in the state of South Carolina, that's where we're located. I want to be able to carry that handgun to defend myself. I want to self-defend myself. So that's what we think of when it comes to self-defense. Well, we actually consider, especially anymore in this day and time, there's three areas to self-defense. Of course, physical. That is my physical being. That is my loved one's physical beings, or even bystanders' physical beings. Somebody's attacking them, and I need to help them out. There is physical. However, there's two more elements that we don't think about. Now, most of your Concealed Weapons Permit classes are going to go over the basics of self-defense, of actual physical self-defense. There's only so much we can do in the time, the one-day class that we host, but we do as much as we can to help our students to understand how to physically defend themselves, what matters, what doesn't matter, etc., etc. Also, most of your permit classes are going to go over the legal areas of self-defense. Why? Because the law mandates that we do so. However, what they won't go over, what a lot of them don't go over, is their three rules of engagement. We go over the three rules of engagement. Even in the civilian life, we have rules of engagement. Now, it's nothing hard. It's nothing that you have to sit there and think about while the person's attacking you. If they attack you under these rules of engagement, you will know. Once you know the three rules of engagement, you will know. But one of the things that a lot of people don't think about or doesn't go over that we consider self-defense is civil defense. There's things that you can do following the three rules of engagement and doing certain things that will keep you civilly safe. Just because it's legal and just because you're able to physically defend yourself doesn't mean you'll be civilly protected. Now, if you are found in self-defense in South Carolina, you do become umbrellaed to where that civil suit's not going to do any good. However, there's been a lot of things that have happened in self-defense that across the country or across the state that haven't necessarily been illegal. And the grand jury has chose not to indict, meaning they've chose not to bring criminal charges against the person that defended themselves or shot someone. However, just because they chose not to indict doesn't mean they're protected civilly. They didn't find them in self-defense. Now they've got this big multi-million-dollar lawsuit against them, and more than likely they're going to lose because they didn't follow the three rules of engagement. They didn't follow what they needed to follow. Just because the law says you can do something doesn't mean you should. Whether morally conscience, your moral conscience is maybe I shouldn't do that, or because you won't be civilly protected. And we help you understand in our classes. I have this little chart up here. If you can see, we have physical at top, we have legal, and then we have civil. And if you see in the center where all the three circles are circling each one, you can protect yourself legally and physically, but that doesn't mean you're necessarily going to protect yourself civilly. Or vice versa, you can be legal and civil, of course, and not physically protect yourself because you didn't do anything. Of course, if they end up killing you or harming you, you're not going to be charged with anything because you're laying on the ground more than likely going to the emergency room. But that's not what we want. We want to be able to physically protect ourselves, we want to be able to legally protect ourselves, and we want to be able to civilly protect ourselves. So these are what we call the three areas of self-defense. Now, of course, it's not all physical self-defense. It is basically courtroom battles, which is what we want to avoid, is the big courtroom battle, and we help you understand how to do that in our classes. We try to get you to a point to where you're thinking. We want our students to think for themselves. We want our students to be able to realize, hey, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. This will keep me physically, legally, and civilly protected at all times. The 3 rules of engagement basically do that. And if you follow them at all times, you should not have anything to worry about. You should have a very good court case against any of it. And there's those things that we go over in our classes to help you stay protected physically, civilly, and legally under self-defense. Again, this is Spencer. This is just a couple of things that we go over, or one of the things that we go over in our classes to help our students stay safe all the way around. We want you to be physically safe, of course. We don't want you harmed in any way. That's why I teach these classes, because I want you to be able to protect yourself. However, I want you to stay within the law. I don't want you doing something that you shouldn't do and end up in jail over it. I go over it. I try to explain the laws. We go over scenarios of the laws. We show videos of what you can and can't do, and I make my students think. I ask questions. What would you do in this situation? And we get feedback from the class, and then we bring out the scenario, and then we pull it and we tie it all in. And also, I want you to be civilly protected. I bring out other scenarios of what people did and what people didn't do or should have done or shouldn't have done to get our students to think. I want my students that come through our classes, I want the people that come in and come through our classes to be protected in the 3 areas of self-defense as best they can be, and I want them to understand there's more to it than just physically defending yourself. There's more to it than just legally defending yourself. There's more to it than just civilly defending yourself. You got to hit that area in the center. That's the safety zone. In the center is the safety zone, and that's where we want you at. We want you to understand that concept at least before you leave our class. Now, of course, we cover everything else that SLED requires. We go over everything that they require and more. We go over a whole lot of stuff in our classes. We cover all of everything. Again, this is Spencer. Just one thing that we do in our classes to try to help you stay safe all the way around in the 3 areas of self-defense and help you to be able to protect yourself, to protect your loved ones. This is Spencer with Defense Training. Stay safe, stay armed.